Hey you all. Welcome back to another message. So I had no idea this was happening today, but it did. So we're gonna talk about it because it's an event that I think we should be up to date with, as well as it flows into tomorrow as well. But Moon and the Pleiades are aligned. I genuinely I glanced at it because I have this app. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's called Sky Tonight. I'm not sponsored with them, but it's a really good app. I love to use it. Um, and I always look at it, and like even here, like look, we have Saturn in Aquarius right now. Like, I mean, ignore the glare and stuff, but like it has all this stuff. You just seen probably like a little shooting star. But Moon and Pleiades are in conjunction today, and I was hearing just congratulations, and I was taken back a little bit. Um, and I got this. When it's a congratulations, there is a mission you've completed. It's like, so you know how you get these messages and they're like, oh, you did missions. It's these side missions that you're completing. There were two big missions that a lot of us had to complete. One of them was unlocking your throat chakra, and the other one was unblocking your heart chakra. Now, we're gonna go into depth a little bit about this because it's important to. And we're going to begin with the heart chakra because this shit's been happening for about 7, 8 years, the heart chakra messing. But it was really intense the past 3 years because the heart was being bait molded, being defined more into a crystalline form for collective. And it makes it hard because you kind of have to sit back and realize that you you went through these phases of closing your heart, like encasing the heart around in stone, and then melting that away, with feeling love and joy again, and then hardening it back up, and then allowing it to do its thing again. And though what we felt, the physical form felt, was pain and enduring this, what was really happening was a crystallization form. Um, so a lot of us are in this crystalline heart space where you I mean, welcome to the higher realms. When your heart is fully crystalline, when your heart is able to be in that position, it allows you to see the matrix of fear for what it is. And you will tend to see people running around with chickens with their head off. Either that or just a mass confusion because things just start happening. And this is why it's important for people to go through this crystalline heart form, the chosen ones, you know what I mean? Throwing that term out there for ease of use. But we had to go through that and endure that because it was going to be endured globally. It is a thing that everyone has to go through. Ironically, and I'm going to say this ironically, I don't mean like haha funny, but the irony in this whole situation is this hookup season that we're in for the majority is not a hookup season. But for the ones that did not get a proper hookup last season, this is that season. It's the way the cycle is moving right now. It's really dishing. I don't want to say dishing, and I don't want to say cleaning because it's not necessarily dirty, but it's putting people where they energetically align with. And that doesn't mean that someone is bad because they are energetically aligned with you. Don't think that. It just means that in this life, that you have learned all the lessons from that soul, and that it's time for you to branch your wings and fly forward. Not a bad thing at all. Y'all know the Pleiadians, they love to radiate that blue, light blue protection. And I was even having a spiritual bath earlier, and I was like talking into a little blue orb that was just flying around me. It's been beautiful. And even last night, I mean, it was a police car, but blue lights were flying all over the place in my room, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And they said sit down and listen, so I sat down and listened, and they were like explaining to me a lot of things that were just for me. um but there is a lot of contact, and especially with the moon is really about like you and your subconscious. So a lot of subconscious fears, I guess. The and it's gonna I have to say it this way because it's important for everyone to be up to date for the evolution of Earth. These thoughts of, oh, I'm not good enough, they matter. And if you do not transmute them and keep them on a back burner, they will become an issue and manifest on the physical. That's why a lot of people are experiencing reversals within like jobs and stuff. And this all this stuff has been, prophesied and warned about, especially on this, like even on this channel, we talk about it a lot, but it's important during this time to stay grounded, as well as with the anger and the agitation just from the moon as well. All these things are happening, but for good reasons. It's to get you into an aligned position to be who you're supposed to be. And unfortunately, some people are ripped from us, it feels like. You know what I mean? Sometimes something just happens out of the blue and it feels like someone was ripped from us. And that doesn't mean that there's any ill intent. So don't get mad again. Don't blame the flesh. It's not a flesh, it's all spirit. It is unconditional love from from everything. Okay? So, if you are going through a time of lack or a feeling of desperation, understand that the other person or the other people or the party or whatever is going on, even if it's just a you on you thing, it is out of love. Your anger outbursts are due to love. You love yourself enough not to bottle that in. You love yourself enough to express yourself. You love yourself enough to let go and to be harmonious with each other or whoever, and this is this new vibration of earth. This is what we've been waiting for and working for and really adjusting to, is this higher love vibration, this higher heart activation. Sorry, I'm getting all sorts of spiritual gas up in me. But this, it's so important to really remember about the unconditional love. It has no condition, and the human mind unfortunately has been conditioned to apply conditions to multiple things. And that doesn't mean it's bad and it doesn't mean it's good, but it means that you need to find out where you stand. You know what I mean? If you stand for unconditional, that doesn't mean you instant like, oh, you're not unconditional instantly. No, work towards it. You know what I mean? Don't listen to the ones that because they're putting a condition on it. Okay, no one said that you'd be done over like one night. That's a condition. No one said it was going to take 30 years. That's also a condition. Okay, divine time is not relevant to us. They don't have time. They have the moment is correct now because they live in the now. And until we fully embody the now and fully embody what the now represents, we can't get what we get. And what we get is what we think we get. And this is why whenever we manifest or even do spells or something with the divine, we do divination, all these stuff, that the divine sometimes will make it bigger and better, or make it shrink down smaller because it's based on who you are at the time. So again, this isn't to okay, because it's coming in multiple ways. So I'm gonna say it in multiple ways. Take what applies, and don't apply anything to anyone because that's, you know what I mean. Like apply it to your story, but don't dictate that this person is definite something. You know what I mean? Don't define someone. Let them and their own actions define it rather than a word. You know what I mean? That's what we're breaking from next. That's what we're really going to talk about next is like labels and stuff and why it's important to describe, but not to flat out label someone as something. You know what I mean? We're going to get into it. And this all comes from leaving this fear matrix of, oh, I'm scared to not say this about someone, but why? Why are you afraid to not be mean to someone? You know what I mean? Like people will treat you however they feel, but you understand and are consciously aware of the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. Even if you treat someone with love and they meet you with a rebuttal, and we'll leave it like that, that doesn't mean that it was deserved. It just means now you know that this person hasn't experienced the type of love that you give. And it causes like an allergic reaction. You know what I mean? And remember, humans are also like mammals. So we have that animalistic instinct, that fight or flight, and a lot of people will fight the love rather than fly with it. You know what? Well, I should use the wrong hands, but you know what I mean. But some would rather fight than fly with it. So understand that as well, like heavily. But as well, giving your heart out to others, even if they don't think it's true or accept it fully, allow yourself just to be in that love. Don't label people or do actions out of fear because that is what the Matrix wants to do. That's how the Matrix continues to get you back into it is you act out of fear. Oh, I need this because I XYZ, I lack, I don't have. I need to protect XYZ. You need to love. That's really all that's saying is I'm not loving myself enough to do something. So where is this reaction coming from? Am I not expressing myself enough? And this goes into throat chakra, which we're talking about soon. But it's like, am I expressing myself the way I truly need to? Or am I expressing myself the way my environment wants me to? You see what I mean? I'll use myself for an example. Uh, when I first moved into this motel, I was like devastated. You know, I was just lost. I didn't know what to do, and it felt awful because there was like a blockage in my brain where I thought people that this was like a horrible place to be type energy. Like, oh, this is like I'm losing, everything is gonna fall apart. My whole life's gonna XYZ, you know. But that wasn't true. So after time, I acclimated myself to this energy here, and it wasn't because, well, actually, my own energy to my surroundings, and it wasn't because my surroundings were bad, but it was because the energy I was already in, I was projecting to the environment. And although other people who don't spiritualize things but see things with a physical eye might say, "Oh, this is bad," I seen it as a growing lesson. Like I get this. This is my timeout square. This is my timeout corner. This is where I be, well, I'll be until I learn everything I need to learn. You know, and even then, it's also partially rest because I needed to rest. I needed an area where I would be away from people so I could come back to myself and remember who I was and get back into my energy so I could spring back in the action. You know what I mean? And that's kind of again this heart activation, realizing that it's not out of love, not thinking that a position that you're in, a place that you're in, a loss or a gain is a good or bad, but a lesson for you to see, to prove to you something, or to show you more. The divine's really trying to show you the way it protects, and the divine can only really protect you as much as you let it, because again, it's just free will. And if you don't give the divine free will to do everything the divine needs to do, then the divine can't fully do everything it needs to do. And we're going to talk about the third chakra here now, because what people are going through now or what you've already doing and you're just learning the lessons in a retrospective energy is this throat chakra, is speaking up for yourself, being honest, using your gifts, your talents, not feeling scared, you know, being truthful, being honest with yourself, not only with yourself but with others, and allowing yourself to extrude that honesty from the heart space and be authentic with it. um and as well, this also takes a lot because again, it goes to like a heart chakra because your heart chakra is part of the subconscious. You know, that's where a lot of the intel from the divine starts is from the heart. That's the only place the divine can really enter because it's the only pure place in the human body is the heart. You know, it's the vortex. It's not a pump. The lungs are pumps. The heart's a valve. Um, but a lot of people who feel like you have an argumentative stance on things is due to a subconscious thing within themselves. They either have this issue, and I used to have it too, so I understand. Welcome to the collective. We share issues here, so we can all heal from them and learn from them. But it comes from feeling like you have to argue with someone to get your point across, or you get that adrenaline and you take it as like I'm getting mad, but instead it's the divine giving you the energy, and if you're able to breathe and slow down, you'll be able to relay the information correctly the way that you're wanting to. And that's what that energy is. It's not a combative energy. It's in fact the push forward that you need to fully convey what you need to say. But if your throat chakra and your heart chakra are not fully in tune with each other, then you will either speak with a harsh tongue, which can lead to faults and misunderstandings and miscommunications, or you'll have a mistreated heart, which makes you take the information the wrong way. It makes you feel the impact of the words wrong, and especially over text, it's just hard to tell the tone. Even for empaths, you really have to make sure that you yourself are in a grounded position when receiving these texts and things so that you don't just go off the bat and assume something. Though you might be correct a little bit, it's best not to jump the gun because you're working with the heart chakra, the most powerful. It's literally the manifester in the body. And a lot of people had to go through a lot of heart chakra things so they could understand the power, their own power, not only from their heart, but like from who their love, like who you are. You don't really understand how powerful you are until you live in the moment and just see things. Anyway, back to the throat chakra. With this throat chakra, I'm hearing upgrade as well for some of you. You're going to be able to speak more fluently, maybe learning a new language, maybe awakening your tongue even more, speaking in tongues, light language even. You know what I mean? It's about speaking with higher vibration that's allowing you to see more. It's allowing yourself to flow through earth better. And that's what I'm here to teach. It's really raising your vibration. Yeah, you can do Kundalini. Yeah, you can go on the gorilla diet and do all this other stuff. But if you're not speaking it, then what are you doing? Actions speak louder than words, yes, but if you don't have words to back that action, then what is it? You need to be able to speak it into your life too, and know how to speak it into your life. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. But yeah, um, it's all about the throat chakra right now. Is how we're kind of healing it. I would use the rat system, but just for clarity's sake and to not exclude or include anyone, you know what I mean? Just allowing the message to be, we're just going to use the chakras because it's the most like known terminologies for it. We'll jump when we start getting into classes and stuff. We'll start using the errata system a lot more and talking in it that way. I do plan on teaching a lot of the Egyptian studies and things of that nature. It's kind of just been deposed, like it's kind of just been given to me. So I'm gonna do with it what I can. Um, but that's for a later date. But right now, it's very important to be honest, to be transparent. Even watching the videos that I did on the errata system, using those and using that as guidelines for how to help your throat and your heart as well. And especially if you know someone who's really into the chakras and reflexology and those things, really working with that as well. And just really just doing your studying. Because though million people, millions of people, thousands of people, will speak on these things and give you different advice. And no matter how long or short the video is, you'll always gain something from it. It's always important for you to discover what fits you because the divine will guide your eyes to what it needs to see. Whether or not you personally like it or not, it will be shown to you because it's all up in your subconscious. That's how the algorithm works on with YouTube and shit and Instagram and Facebook. It literally takes all these things that you like and then start spreading it out. So it has all these things that you like running in your head, and then, oh, I like this, but what if that happens? And what about this and that and that? And that's what's going on in your subconscious. The same thing's happening with AI algorithms and things of that nature. So whenever you see something in your algorithm and it perturbs you, it's because there's something small in the back of your head that you're not paying attention to. Is it holding you back? No. But is it something you need to be aware of almost to see where you're at mentally? Of course. It's not something big, but you know that now if that thought comes up, it's because it's not because someone else, but it's because it's really just in the back of your head somewhere. And it is something that you're digesting and like getting rid of. But there's just so much to talk about. They're just feeding me. Um, But the throat chakra, be honest, be transparent at this time, be soft spoken if you need to as well. Don't allow someone to intimidate you because that's also with like a dysfunctional throat chakra can be very like lack of confidence, like very skittish or scared. Don't be scared of anyone. Like always be who you are because who you are is a very beautiful star, a beautiful ball of energy that will never cease to exist and will only always grow. So there is nothing to be scared of. This growth that you go through is temporary. You will grow from it quicker than you think, but it's these holding on to things. It's this almost being a perfectionist with it that like holds you back because yes, your soul knows there is a 100,000% pure way to do these things. Is that possible? Of course. Is it logically possible? Probably not. The human body doesn't like being robotic, unfortunately. And that's what perfectionism is. It's roboticism. It's really just you trying to do everything like that, and it's not like that. I mean, look at trees, look at clouds. These things that we deem as beautiful and amazing are crooked and not perfect, but yet we deem them beautiful. And we focus on ourselves and try to perfect ourselves, and then that tears our like authenticity away. Our throat chakra becomes no longer valid because instead of speaking on what we need to or what we feel to speak on, we then speak on what other people like, or we end up dimming our own light by speaking how it's deemed to be spoken and allowing yourself to be in these cycles of like self-delusion or self-dilution. That's what I heard. Sorry, not self-delusion, self-dilution. You're literally diluting yourself. You're watering yourself down. You're breaking yourself down by doing so. Thank you, Spirit. I heard one of the words. But that's why it's important. As well as just reoccurring energy. And it's not to make you feel bad when this reoccurring energy comes back. It's to show you what's going on. Like it shows you who you are. It shows you like where like it's all about you and just finding out where you're at now, and it's showing you. And I don't want to say bullets being dodged, but that is coming out. But it's showing you like all the lessons that you learned, and it's showing you how much you've grown from it. And the past energy comes back to show is for like a last two raw almost, not to get under your skin, but to like their soul is congratulating you. Thank you for freeing yourself. I'll meet you soon. Is how I'm hearing it. It's literally coming out like that. Like, thank you for making it past those trials. I tried, I couldn't. I'll meet you there. Like, they're just telling you, it's okay, I'm good, but you keep moving on. Like, keep moving. We need you. Like, you don't understand that everything you do. I mean, some of you do, but I really had to put like you don't because at the end of the day, you really don't understand how the smallest thing, me not up like let's say I didn't upload this video, that would change a lot. Me uploading this video changes a lot. It's a new frequency that's being added, and people are absorbing it. Whether they agree with it or not, it absorbs. If a sunflower decides, have you seen that video of the sunflowers that didn't have their head towards the sun? Does that mean they're not absorbing the sun? No, they're still getting the sun, but they're not getting the benefit, you know? And that's what you have to accept it as is you will speak life into people, but they won't benefit off of that life because it's not that they're not living. It's that they're not consciously living. They're not seeing their life as it is. They're seeing it as it is compared to someone else, and then they weigh, pro and con it. But this is so important. The Pleiadians are here to support you through this. You might have had like just a really emotional day, or just really been in your head, not really knowing what to do. But that's just this Palladian love coming to you to like realign you. Um, I'm just hearing like celebration and stuff, like really just happy songs. And I haven't been getting them at all until now. So it's not like a birthday thing. It really is like the divine, the Palladians are like cheering you on because they see how far you've come. They know that you've almost given up. I mean, there's just a police car just driving by. You know, the blue lights caught my attention. I'm telling you, man. The Palladians, they're here. They just want you to know how much they love you and that they are here to help. And if you need their help, ask them. Be like, hey, Palladian brothers and sisters, come down. I need help. I give me solutions for this. What do I need to do? Some of you are going to a new mission. Some of you have a new mission to go to. Some of us are staying in old missions, not as a punishment, not as like a personal choice either, but because your energy is still needed there. So take this message and allow it to empower you if it can. Really allow it to show you that even if you think your mission's done, it's not because part of the mission really is resting as well. Um, they'll keep watch for you is what I'm hearing, but allow yourself to really embody and get used to this new energy that you're going to be in because it's not going to leave. But if you aren't able to acclimate to it, it might tear you down instead of lift you up. You know what I mean? But that's what I have. That's the message I have for you all. I was just told to give a little quick one. But yeah, y'all know the drill. Everything's in the description for the bracelets, services, everything. Books are still free till tomorrow if you're wanting any of them. Hit me up. I'm still making the one on a second duality. That one's gonna take a little bit longer because we like you think that like I don't know, it's going deep. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't if it's going a little bit deeper than I thought it was gonna go, but we're enjoying it. But regardless, thank you all so much for being here, for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Donations included, whether they are energetic or financial. I appreciate them both wholly and fully. But I love you all so much to the moon and back tenfold and forever, and I'll see you later.